Got to understand that your life is a gift from the glory of God and not a game for assholes. Okay. As much as I like, Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying by Jerry and the Pacemakers, love is not a game. And it doesn't, quote, always come again. Love is a reflection of faith from the gift of life, the gratitude for the gift of life. That's what love is. Okay. And if you can't reflect that faith, you're doing a disservice to everything that provides life, period. Okay. I'm not just talking about on planet Earth. I'm talking about everything in the cosmos provides what's necessary for us to have life on planet Earth. When you sit down and you take that in, you sit and you look at the stars at night and realize, I remember I told you about when I at Arizona State University, I took a Islamic studies class, okay? And I had this book by this man named Denny. I still have it in the garage. Tried to give it to my dad to read it and stuff. My sister, none of them would read it. My dad read the Quran, and I just took it back because he was just so vicious about it when he would read it. Tell me what a liar Muhammad was. And I said, Dad, you got to understand this is written down by the people that took but there's a lot of beauty in here and a lot of good, a lot of criticism for the people that took Jesus' life and turned it into a mass murder war cult. That's what it's about. And so when you can correlate eternity and see the what's perceived as a reaction, it's not a reaction. Truth is truth, and lie is lie. And the Word is flesh, and the Messiah was a living being. People can write down on a piece of paper that I'm the unicorn gravity and everybody owes me money to have sex to reproduce here, but that doesn't make it so. But that's what you all do. I didn't watch Justice Sotomayor last night on Colbert. I didn't want to hear it. I'm tired of hearing any of that shit. I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of listening to people trying to justify commerce, philanthropy, over the truth of the Lord's Prayer, over the wisdom of Solomon, over the faith of David, over the faithful love of Malachi. I'm tired of it. Over the wisdom and the humility of Hud, the beauty and the listening and the understanding and the sharing of perfect prayer over years of Rumi. It gets corrupted by egomaniacs who think they know better than the person standing next to them. Okay. And if you know that which is true, and you know to be righteous and faithfully love, then how can you know better than the person standing next to you if they're faithfully loving you and you're faithfully loving them? I dreamed of you, okay? For the Lord must know that I love you so. His faith brought us here together today as man and wife. Now go find that person and be that lifelong friend. Okay? Go do it. Me, I'm going to sit here and I choose to recover. I choose for my body to survive. I choose to recover with this planet when we are sharing the Lord's Prayer worldwide and using the technology to share it and not let anybody try to squash it and make it look like it's nothing and hide it. We could run you over in the parking lot of Best Buy. I choose no. Okay? I'm the Messiah. I'm the light in the way. Okay? I'm the Redeemer of the Gospels. If people... my family, I understand that, but you got to understand, my father is attacked every night in his dreams by these perverts at White Sands and Fort Huachuca. It's hard. Okay. They fuck you and fuck you and fuck you and fuck you in the head until you accept the fuck and say, okay, I'm going to go live with Jesus in a magic place after I'm dead just to get away from this hell, which is wrong. It's fundamentally wrong. Okay, I am the redemption. I am the correction of human computing to fuck people in the head over their delusions of power and authority. Suzuki and Krishnamurti and Selassie were right about me. Okay, he's not going to give in. Rockefeller said it. They'll gladly kill over me and my grandpa's money and watch you and your Jesus die, Parsons. And that man had, the organ transplant stuff. Your minds are fucked, and you're fucking each other with your technology that you can't think straight or talk straight. When Putin and Xi were talking about organ transplants, you can sit there and take poor people and take their organs and put them in your fucked up body so we can live more of your fucked up, aggressive, compulsive bullshit. But one of these days, the bucket's going to go to the well, and one day the bottom's going to drop out. Okay? And that day is coming for all of us. How is it going to happen? I don't know. But I can guarantee you this. It's not like what happens on the fucking Justice League movie with Cyborg, Flash, and Superman. Because that's all bullshit. Okay? The apocalypse has already occurred. The apocalypse is the restoration of the Gospels of a man named Earl, born in the valley of the shadow of death, to Ralph and Mary. Okay, they sent me to Fort Huachuca, had everybody, hey, you're not so great, fucking perverts, they're horrible, okay? What happened in my life with my wife's and the way that the sexual abuse from those perverts all around you, that you call heroes and problem solvers and all that, was far worse than anything that happened on Jeffrey Epstein's island. Epstein knew what was up. Why do you think they had an island? Okay? The laws of sexual penetration with a minor did not apply on that island. What happened on the island stays in the island. Okay? They had legal written contracts. It's like nothing's going to come of this because it's like the kid from Clemson with his Texas attorneys doing massages and ended up in Ohio getting paid more money than Davy Crockett. They know the laws. Okay? And if you change the laws to try to make yourselves money prostitution heroes, it's not going to take away the disgustingness of your behaviors. All right? What you have to do is establish a loving presence of faithful, caring persons on planet Earth. Take away the opportunity of crimes through perversion. Okay. Stop the cars, bars, and wars. Stop the institutionalization, competition. What is it again? Institutionalization, indoctrination, and incarceration. Stop it. Okay? You've lost your fucking minds. They had the lady on Match Game, they call herself a witch and all that stuff. You get what you put out. Yeah. You put out money, you get money back. You put out prostitution, you get prostitution back. You accept money as reality. You incarcerate people and torture them. And you pass it on, and then you torture these people eternally. Okay, incarceration does no good psychologically, mentally, and emotionally, physiologically, none. It has no rehabilitation. There's no rehabilitation to it. No. You just accept the institutionalization, the indoctrination, and the incarceration. The 14th Amendment. You are now in indentured servitude instead of what's considered a piece of property according to an asshole's perception of what they wrote on paper. Yeah, and it's knowing that I'm not shackled by forgotten words and funds and the ink stains that are dried upon some line, keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory, keeps you ever gentle on my mind, right? Okay. You guys don't have a clue, okay, what it's like to have a mind like Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John, Muhammad, Haile Selassie, D.T. Suzuki, Jiddu Krishnamurti. Okay, you don't know what our minds are like. We do not accept bullshit. We will not regurgitate bullshit. I would not sell you a book for money for all the tea in China. I don't like tea. And I come from British people. On my dad's side, I have more genetic. Me and the gentleman talked about it yesterday at Anna's house. I have more genetic sequences. It's my maternal line. Okay, so I have genetic sequence time in Spain, okay, and in Germany, and I had a German palate, but Spanish food and Mexican food are different. A tortilla in español is an omelet. ¿Tú entiendes? Okay, pescado tacos, that's Mexicano, because that's a piece of fry bread or pita or a tortilla. A tortilla is in our community, in a Mexica community, is a tortilla. Okay, a tortilla in Spain is an omelet. ¿Tú entiendes? But they just, because it looks like an omelet, it's flat, and you flip it over and stuff, and so that's why they refer to it as similar, right? So, but there was a lot of Spanish things that I have fond memories of through the years, even during the occupation and being moreno, dark Jews. Okay, it's the line of it's Ruth's line. Ruth's line. There's many stories about it. It was given sanctuary for years in Spain. They went off to Spain. Okay, and then during the Inquisition, because they were trying to kill off the people like me, they ended up in Germany. And then during the Holocaust, the beginning of the Holocaust, my grandmother got up and left and came to Ellis Island, and then ended up in St. Louis marrying Philip Sheridan Murphy. And then my mom ended up in San Antonio, and then with all the racial crazy bullshit she got in San Antonio, she went to New Mexico and never went back. She hated Texas. I was like, Mom, you married a Texan. You hate Texas? Okay. You're a weird woman, Marianne. I don't hate Texas. Nah, I never hated the miners. We always, we don't like Texas and stuff. Because there was always that that tribal Texas, right? And but I never hated the miners. But the miners were underdogs. So I liked the miners because they were underdogs, and Texas never accepts El Paso. That one guy from Houston at Walmart, we don't accept it. That's okay. We'll take El Paso. Well, because the one girl told me, she goes, Las Cruces is Texas. I go, culturally, yes. Eastern New Mexico and our part of Texas, Las Cruces is more like Texas and West Texas than it is like New Mexico, than it is like the Cradle and Albuquerque. And so it's got a little bit more of that. That's because of the bureaucracy and the government presence. So it's nice. There's less crime. Yeah. So what do you consider crime? I consider people denying children and families the Lord's Prayer criminal. That's the most heinous criminal activity and the most heinous perversion in the history of the world. And I'm the Messiah, and I correct quantum computing technology so it can eventually be used for us to live the Lord's Prayer worldwide. And that's what I'm doing right now. And if you don't want to join me, that's your decision. You have decisions to make. It's, like the guard on Match Game said, you get back what you put out. So, here's your money. I don't want you. Here's your blood money. Me, I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. I get back what I put out. The birds follow me. Hey, pick up the bird bath. Hey, do this. Hey, fill the... I was telling Dad, I think they know, man. They have ways of communicating with you of what they want done, Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot yesterday when I was cutting the lawn. I went through and hit the chairs, but cussing through the patio so I wouldn't hurt the lawn more, and I knocked over, it was empty. I knocked over the bird bath. I will fill the bird bath. Yeah, the water in the bed breath. It's safer to get from predators, and it's also cleaner, and so it's better water when I put the water in the bird bath. So, okay, damn, bossy little critters. No, they're cute. I like birds. They sit around, they tell you what to do. It's like, yeah, dang, who needs a girlfriend? I got all these birds around. Let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon up above and a thing called love. Sexual reproduction is not love, okay? Love is reflecting the faith of the gratitude of the life from the glory of God, okay? Focus, okay? Be like Jophis, focus. My coat of many colors that my mama made for me, made only from rags, but I wear it so proudly. Well, I was happy to I wear it with gratitude and love, say that. Because Mom made it for me because she loved me. Don't you understand? Poor? What do you consider poor and what do you consider rich? Okay, guys, I love you. Peace.